Number 21. In Evan's math class, there are 17 boys and 21 girls. Which of the following is the ratio of boys to girls in the class? So you have to set up your ratio the way it's presented in the question. So it's boys to girls. So I have boys to girls. And there are 17 boys to 21 girls. Or you can do 17 to 21, or 17 and then colon 21. Number 22, Sarah bought a 16-ounce jar of strawberry jam for $3.20. What is the unit price? Unit price is for 1 ounce. So we want to know the cost per ounce. So here we have cost per ounce, and it's $3.20 divided by 16. So when you divide $3.20 by 16, you get 0.2 or 2/10. But to write it as money, we add a 0 for the pennies. So it's still 2/10 and 20/100. It's the same thing, but this is written as money, 20 cents per ounce. Number 23, Zach is making a recipe that requires 1 cup of vinegar and 3 cups of water. Which of the following combinations show the same ratio of vinegar to water? Select yes or no. So here we have 2 cups of vinegar to 3 cups of water. And we want to we set it up as equal ratios. So our 1/3, so 1 cup of vinegar to 3 cups of water, that's what's in the problem. And is that equivalent to 2/3? Well, no, because 1/3 and 2/3 are not equal to each other. Number 23B, 2 cups of vinegar to 6 cups of water. Well, we have 1/3. Does that equal 2/6? Yeah. 2/6 is 2 times greater than 1/3. You just we're multiplying the numerator and denominator both by 2. 1 times 2 is 2. 3 times 2 is 6. So that is true. 3 cups of vinegar to 1 cup of water. Well, is that the same as 1/3? No, because there's no multiplier that we can multiply 1 by and 3 to get 3/1. These are reciprocals of one another. And the last one, 3 cups of vinegar to 9 cups of water. Well, we set that equal to 1/3. And yes, 3/9 is 3 times greater than 1/3. 1 times 3 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. So that is true. Number 24, Liam bought 8 quarts of juice at the grocery. How many gallons of juice did he buy? Well, 4 quarts equals 1 gallon. We have to find out, well, how many gallons is 8 quarts? So we set it up quarts to gallons, and 4 quarts equal 1 gallon. And so how many gallons is 8 quarts? Well, we can find the multiplier by dividing. 8 divided by 4 is 2, because 4 times 2 is 8. So if we multiply the quarts by 2, we multiply the number of gallons by 2. So 1 times 2 is 2. So Liam bought 2 gallons of juice. Number 25, Delia measured her bathtub to be 2 meters long. Which of these is an equivalent measurement? So 1 meter is approximately 1.09 yards, and 1 meter is approximately 3.28 feet. So knowing that, that 1 meter is a little over 3 feet, you can eliminate the miles. That's going to be way too long. Here we have 1 meter equals 39.37 inches, and 2 meters equals approximately 78.74 inches. So D is going to be correct. 3 yards, we know 1 meter, 1 meter equals 1 yard, so that's going to bring it over 3 meters. And 8 feet, that's, well, we know 2 meters is going to be twice this, so that's going to be about 6.5 feet, so that's not enough. Nora bikes 30 miles per hour. Hero bikes 45 miles per hour. Nora and Hero each bike for 5 hours. How many more miles does Hero bike? So we want to find the difference between the two. So if we look at Nora bikes 30 miles per hour. And we want to find out, well, how many, if they bike for 5 hours, so this is going to be 5 times as many hours, so it's going to be 5 times as many miles, which gives us 150 miles. Hero bikes 45 miles per hour, and he's going to go 5 hours, so that's 5 times greater, so the number of miles is going to be 5 times greater. So he bikes 225 miles. So now we have to find out, well, how many more miles does Hero bike? Well, we need to take the difference between these two. And so we're going to subtract the two. 225 minus 150 is 75 miles. So Hero went 75 miles more than Nora. Number 27, the table below shows the number of books on shelves at a library. Which of the following represents the number of books? So Y represents the total number of books, X represents the number of shelves. So if we use the formula Y equals KX, where Y is the total number of books, X is the number of shelves, and K is the multiplier. So what are we multiplying by to get the total number of books? So if we did 3 times the number of shelves, so is 3 times 2 equal 42? No. If we do 2 for number of shelves, that doesn't work. If we do 21 times the number of shelves, so if we do 2 times 21, that equals 42. If we try 3 times 21, that equals 63. 5 times 21, that equals 105. And 7 multiplied by 21 will equal 147. So B is going to be correct. If we did shelves plus 28, 2 plus 28 does not equal 42. And if we try shelves plus 42, well, number of shelves, 2 plus 42 does not equal 42, so that's not correct either. Number 28, on a certain map, 1.25 inches represents 20 miles. Longwood and Milltown are 5 inches apart on the map. What is the actual distance between Longwood and Milltown? So we have inches to miles, and that's what we have here, inches to miles, and we know that 1.25 inches represents 20 miles. And we know Longwood and Milltown are 5 inches apart on the map. So again, we're lining up inches to miles. And we don't know the actual distance in miles, so that's what we need to find. So we need to find what is the multiplier. We know we're multiplying, it's going from a smaller value to a greater value. And the inverse property of multiplication is division. So we can divide 5 divided by 1.25 will give us the multiplier 4. And so if we multiply the number of inches by 4, then the miles is 4 times greater. So M will equal 80. So it's 80 miles between Longwood and Milltown. Number 29, what percent of the rectangle below is shaded? So let's first find the ratio, the fraction. We have 4 that are shaded out of, and if we count all of these, we get 10. So that's 4 out of 10. Now we want to write that as a percent because we want to know the percentage. And so we do 4 divided by 10, 4 divided by 10. And 10 goes into 4 0 times. So now we're going to put a decimal and a couple of placeholders. Bring the decimal up. 10 goes into 40 4 times. 4 times 10 is 40. Bring down the 0. 0 divided by 10 is 0. And so now we have it as a decimal, written as a decimal. And to write it as a percent, we need to multiply it by 100, which moves the decimal 2 places to the right, which gives us 40%. Number 30, what is the value of the power below? So for this one, we have -4 to the third power. And the -4 is in parentheses. So what I say, this is like a parentheses shield. So that means that this negative is included with the 4. So it's 3 groups of -4 being multiplied together. 1, 2, 3 -4s. So we're going to go ahead and multiply the first 2, -4 multiplied by -4. And this is where we get Pizza Bob. Remember, this works for multiplication and division. A negative multiplied by negative is a positive. A negative multiplied by a positive is a negative. So for this one, we have -4 multiplied by -4 equals +16. And then 16 multiplied by -4, so a negative multiplied by a positive is going to be a negative. So 16 multiplied by -4 is -64. 31, what are all the factors of 18? So factors are numbers when multiplied, 2 numbers are multiplied together, equal that number. So we have 1 multiplied by 18, 2 multiplied by 9 is 18, 3 multiplied by 6 is 18. There's not a number that 4 can multiply or 5 can multiply by to get 18. So these are the factors of 18. Number 32, what is the value of the expression below? So we need to simplify this expression, but we need to follow the order of operations, GEMDAS. Grouping symbols, exponents, multiplication and division from left to right. So multiplication and division, whichever one comes first on the left to the right. And then same with addition and subtraction from left to right, whichever one comes first. So we first need to do grouping symbols. So we need to simplify what's inside the parentheses. 7 minus 2, which equals 5. Now we have grouping symbols here still. I brought them down because there's an exponent here. But there's nothing to simplify. So now we're going to do exponents. And we have 5 to the third power. Now this is not like the previous problem that we did where the negative was on the inside, the parentheses. This one's on the outside. So I can cover that up. It's only 5 to the third power. So that means 5 times 5 times 5, which equals 125. And I have it right here. 5 to the third power, that would be 5 times 5 is 25, times 5 is 125. So now we do division. So 125 divided by 5 is 25. And now subtraction, 205 minus 25 is 180. Number 33, which of the following expressions is equivalent to the expression below? So we have 2 multiplied by the quantity of 7x plus 3 minus x. So this is distributive property. So we're first going to distribute to the first term. 2 multiplied by 7x equals 14x. 2 multiplied by 3, positive 3, is positive 6. And 2 multiplied by negative x, remember a positive multiplied by a negative is an equal negative, so 2 multiplied by negative x is negative 2x. Now we need to combine like terms. And so we have x's here that we can combine, and then we have this constant here that's by itself. So 14x minus 2x is 12x, and then plus 6. So A is your answer. Number 34, what is the solution of the equation below? M minus 9 equals 4. So we want to get m by itself. We want to isolate the variable. And so we have minus 9. So the inverse property of subtraction is addition. So we add 9 to both sides. This creates a 0 pair, and we're left with m. What you do to one side, you do the other. 4 plus 9 is 13, which we get as m equals 13. And so you should always check your solution. If m equals 13, we can plug it back in to the equation, and we do 13 minus 9 equals 4. So 4 equals 4, that is true. So that is the solution to the equation. Number 35, a 60-degree angle is complementary to an angle that measures x. Which of the following equations represents this situation? So complementary angles add up to 90 degrees. And remember, 90 degrees is a right angle. It's like the corner of your book or desk. It creates a right angle. And so we want to know, well, which angle is complementary to 60? That means that if you have 60 plus x is going to equal 90. So that's here, 60 plus x equals 90. And we can find the value of x by subtracting 60 from 90, which is 30, because 60 plus 30 equals 90 degrees. Supplementary angles are two angles that add up to 180 degrees, and that would be if this was a straight line and it went all the way over. That's supplementary, 180 degrees. Number 36, which inequality is shown on the number line below? Well, first looking at this, we see that it's an open circle, and an open circle means that it's not equal to this number. So what is that number on the number line? So here's 0, and it looks like it's going by ones. I'm going to check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is going by ones. So it does not include 2. So we can get rid of B and D because it's greater than or equal to 2 and less than or equal to 2. So remember, open circles are not equal to, they're only closed circles. And then this one is P is less than 2. Well, if I said P is less than 2, I can use 5 to check. If I put in 5 here, is 5 less than 2? No. But if I do, for this one, P is greater than 2, and we use 5 to check, 5 is greater than 2. That is true. Or I could use 0. 0 is less than 2? Well, no, so it's not going this way. Number 37, write an algebraic expression for the phrase below. 12 less than twice a number n. So whatever this number is going to be, it's going to be 12 less than. So that if you're taking less than, you're going to be subtracting. And we have twice the number n. So here's twice the number n, but 12 less than that, so we have to subtract it. Number 38, evaluate the expression below for x equals -4. So when we're evaluating an expression, we're substituting the given value of x into the expression. So if x equals -4, so we're going, instead of x, we're going to substitute with -4. So now we have -4 plus 15. We have to follow the order of operations, GEMDOS. So we have to do inside the grouping symbols first. So I have more positives than negatives, so I know the sum of these are going to be positive. When the signs are opposite, you subtract. So 15 minus 4 equals 11. Now I do multiplication. When you have a number smashed up against a parenthesis, that means multiplication. So 6 multiplied by 11 is 66. Number 39, combine like terms to simplify the expression below. So here we have to simplify this expression first by, we follow order of operations. There's nothing to simplify in here because these are not like terms in the grouping symbols, the parentheses. But here I have multiplication, and I'm going to distribute this negative to both of these terms. Now I could say this is multiplying by a -1, or I can say the opposite. What is the opposite of -2x? Which would be, the opposite of 2x would be -2x. What is the opposite of -y? Positive y. Or -1 multiplied by 2x is -2x. -1 multiplied by -y is positive y. Now I can combine like terms. And you can see that I have x's and I have y's. So I'm going to combine the x's. 14x minus 2x is 12x. And then the y's, I have y minus y, which equals 0y. So that leaves me with 12x.